Resilience is not built in comfort, but in chaos. Think about it. Nobody grows strong by sitting in a soft chair all day. Nobody discovers their true character when everything is going their way. Strength, resilience, and courage are forged in the furnace of adversity. It is in the chaos, when plans fall apart, when the unexpected storms of life roll in, when the world feels heavy and unfair, that the real strength of a woman is revealed. A woman doesn't discover how powerful she is until life tests her. When she's betrayed, when she's left alone, when she has to figure out how to provide, protect, or persevere in the face of trials, that's when her resilience begins to grow. Comfort may give peace, but it never gives power. Struggle, pain, heartbreak, those are the teachers of endurance. They demand that she dig deeper, that she stretch further, that she pull strength from a place she didn't even know existed. Resilience isn't about smiling when everything is easy. It's about standing tall when everything inside you wants to collapse. It's about waking up after crying yourself to sleep, putting on your shoes, and still moving forward when you have every reason to quit. Comfort cannot teach that. Only chaos can. Because chaos strips away the illusions. It reveals what's inside. It forces a woman to ask herself, do I have what it takes to keep going? And when she chooses to answer yes, even in the smallest way, she's already won. Now let's be real. Chaos hurts. It breaks routines. It disrupts plans. It makes you feel like you're losing control. But inside that disruption is opportunity. See, resilience is like a muscle. The more it's stretched, the stronger it gets. When a woman survives one storm, she learns she can survive another. Every test builds her capacity for the next one. And soon, what used to break her doesn't even shake her anymore. That's resilience. That's growth. It's easy to admire someone when they're shining, but if you want to know the depth of their strength, look at them in the storm. A resilient woman doesn't get her power from the applause of the crowd or the comfort of easy days. Her power is rooted in the nights she kept going when nobody was watching, when nobody was cheering, when the world seemed silent. Those nights, those tears, those struggles, that is where resilience is born. So understand this, if life feels chaotic, if everything around you feels uncertain, it might just be your training ground. Don't run from it. Don't curse it. Learn from it. Because the woman you are becoming cannot be built in comfort. She is built in chaos. And one day, that resilience will be the very thing that carries you through to your destiny. Brokenness is not the end, it's the foundation for rebuilding. When something breaks, the first thought most people have is that it's ruined, that it's finished, that it has no more value. But life doesn't work like that. In life, when a woman is broken, it doesn't mean she's useless. It means the old version of her is being stripped away, and a stronger version is about to be built. Brokenness isn't destruction, it's transformation. It is life's way of saying, you cannot stay the same. You are being prepared for something greater. Think about the strongest buildings in the world. Before they stand tall, before they shine with glass and steel, the ground has to be broken. The soil has to be dug deep, the foundation has to be laid. That breaking of the ground is not a mistake. It is necessary. In the same way, when life breaks a woman, it's digging deep into her soul to lay a foundation that can hold the weight of her destiny. What feels like loss is often preparation. What feels like the end is often the beginning of a stronger, wiser, more powerful chapter. Now, brokenness hurts. Let's not pretend it doesn't. It can leave scars. It can leave memories that bring tears in the quiet hours. But the beauty is in what comes after. A broken heart learns how to love differently. A broken dream teaches patience and wisdom. A broken trust gives birth to discernment. Nothing is wasted. Every crack, every scar, every bruise is a reminder that she has survived, and survival is proof that she can rise again. See, some people believe brokenness makes you fragile, but in truth, it can make you unbreakable. Because once you've been broken and rebuilt, you know you can survive it again. You stop fearing the storm because you've already walked through it. You stop doubting your strength because you've seen it rise up when you had nothing left. Brokenness takes away the illusion of weakness and replaces it with the reality of resilience. And here's the most important part: rebuilding doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes faith. Just as a building's foundation must be set carefully before the walls can rise, a woman's rebuilding requires slow, steady steps. Healing, growth, self-discovery, these are not instant. But every day, piece by piece, she begins to stand taller. She begins to walk with a new kind of confidence, a new kind of wisdom. So if you've been broken, don't call it the end. Call it the foundation. Call it the starting point for a new chapter of strength, because brokenness is not the enemy. Brokenness is the builder, and when the rebuilding is done, the woman who rises will be stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than ever before. Pain teaches lessons that success cannot. Success feels good, but it doesn't shape you. Success gives you applause, but it doesn't give you depth. Pain, on the other hand, is the teacher that nobody asks for but everybody needs. Pain is the classroom where the most valuable lessons of life are taught. You don't really understand your own strength until you've been pushed to the edge. You don't truly appreciate joy until you've sat in sorrow. You don't know the meaning of endurance until you've walked through hardship. When everything is going right, when the doors are opening, when people are cheering, you don't ask the hard questions. You don't stop to reflect on who you are, on what really matters, on what you're capable of. Comfort hides the truth. But pain strips away the masks. Pain forces you to see yourself clearly. It teaches you patience because nothing heals overnight. It teaches you empathy because once you've suffered, you can recognize the suffering of others. It teaches you gratitude because once you've lost something, you learn to value it when it returns. A woman who has walked through pain carries a wisdom that no book could ever give her. The betrayal that broke her heart showed her the importance of trust. The failure that embarrassed her showed her the value of perseverance. The loss that shattered her spirit showed her the meaning of love. These lessons don't come when you're standing on the mountain. They come when you're down in the valley. And the valley is where character is built. See, success is like the fruit on the tree. It's sweet, it's beautiful, but it doesn't grow without the roots being tested by storms. Pain is the storm that strengthens the roots. Without it, the tree may look good for a while, but it won't last when the winds blow. The same is true for people. Success without pain makes you fragile, but success after pain makes you unshakable. Because you know what it cost you to get there. You know what it took to keep standing when everything around you was falling apart. Now here's the truth. Nobody enjoys pain. It's uncomfortable, it's heavy, it feels unfair. But once you've been through it, once you've survived, you look back and realize it was shaping you. Pain is like fire to gold. It refines. It burns away the unnecessary and leaves behind the purest part of you. That's why people who've endured pain often walk with a different kind of strength, a different kind of dignity. They know who they are because pain forced them to discover it. So understand this: success may give you trophies, but pain gives you wisdom. Success may give you applause, but pain gives you depth. Success may put you on the stage, but pain gives you a story worth telling. And when you carry that story, you don't just live, you inspire. Faith and perseverance are the greatest weapons. Life will throw challenges at you that seem impossible to overcome. There will be days when the mountain in front of you looks too high, when the storm around you feels too strong, when the path ahead feels too dark. In those moments, talent won't be enough. Beauty won't be enough. Even intelligence won't be enough. What will carry you through is faith, the belief that even if you can't see the whole picture, something greater is guiding you. And perseverance, the determination to keep moving no matter how slow the steps may be. Faith is what gives you vision when your eyes can't see. It's the whisper that tells you, hold on, this is not the end. It's the anchor that keeps you steady when everything around you is shifting. Without faith, challenges feel final. With faith, challenges become temporary. A woman with faith understands that her pain has a purpose, that her trials are building her, that her journey is leading her somewhere worth going. But faith alone is not enough. Faith must be partnered with perseverance. Perseverance is action. It's the decision to get up one more time, to try again, to keep showing up even when the results aren't visible yet. Perseverance doesn't ask for proof, it just keeps pushing. Think about it. No great achievement in history was born without perseverance. The strongest women, the ones who inspire generations, are those who refuse to quit when quitting seemed like the only option. Faith gives you the courage to dream. Perseverance gives you the strength to keep working until the dream becomes reality. Faith says, I believe there's a way. Perseverance says, I'll keep walking until I find it. Together, they are unstoppable. Together, they transform obstacles into stepping stones. Now let's be real. Perseverance is not easy. It means pushing through fatigue, disappointment, and sometimes even loneliness. It means fighting when no one else claps for you, when no one else sees your effort. But every step of perseverance builds muscle. Every season of waiting, every battle fought adds to your strength. And when faith is fueling that perseverance, you walk with confidence even when the outcome is uncertain. A woman armed with faith and perseverance cannot be defeated. She may be delayed, but she will not be denied. She may stumble, but she will not stay down, because faith tells her she's destined for more, and perseverance makes sure she gets there. These two weapons don't just help her survive, they help her conquer. So when life breaks you, when the struggle feels endless, remember this: your greatest power lies not in what you have, but in what you believe and how long you're willing to endure. Faith and perseverance, those are the weapons that turn brokenness into victory. The world often underestimates the power of a broken woman. Too often people look at scars and see weakness. They see tears and think of fragility. They see silence and assume surrender. But they don't realize that behind those scars is survival, behind those tears is cleansing, and behind that silence is strength being rebuilt. A woman who has been broken is not fragile. She is fierce. She has walked through the fire and come out carrying wisdom that no easy life could ever give her. Society has a way of judging people at face value. They see the struggles, but not the strength it took to endure them. They see the losses, but not the lessons those losses carried. They see the pain, but not the perseverance. And because of this, the world often makes the mistake of underestimating a woman who has been through trials. But let me tell you, underestimation is her greatest advantage. Because while the world doubts her, she is quietly building. While they count her out, she is preparing her comeback. A broken woman carries a resilience that cannot be bought, borrowed, or faked. When she has faced betrayal, she knows the value of loyalty. When she has felt rejection, she learns the strength of self-acceptance. When she has lost everything, she understands the power of starting again. And when she stands back up, she doesn't just stand. She rises with a force that can move mountains. History is filled with examples of women who were underestimated, dismissed, or broken, yet became unstoppable. Their pain became their platform. Their rejection became their redirection. Their struggles became the very soil that nurtured greatness. The world may see scars, but those scars are proof that she fought battles and lived to tell the story. And a story of survival carries more power than a story of comfort ever could. You see, the danger in underestimating a broken woman is that you assume her pain has weakened her. But in truth, her pain has sharpened her. She no longer entertains the trivial. She no longer fears the temporary. She no longer bows to the pressure of opinions. She knows what matters, and she knows who she is. That clarity born from brokenness is one of the strongest forces on earth. So the next time the world underestimates a broken woman, they should remember this: she is not defined by what broke her. She is defined by how she rose from it. She is not a victim of her past. She is the architect of her future. And the very things that were meant to destroy her have now become the fuel for her destiny. That's why the world should never underestimate a broken woman. Because when she rises, she doesn't just lift herself. She lifts everyone who sees her strength, everyone who hears her story, everyone who believes in her courage. She becomes living proof that brokenness is not the end, but the beginning of unstoppable power. Healing requires courage, not denial. Too many people believe that if they bury their pain, it will disappear. They think if they keep busy enough, laugh loud enough, or pretend long enough, the wounds will somehow vanish on their own. But denial doesn't heal. Denial only delays. Denial covers the wound, but it doesn't close it. Healing, real healing, begins when you face the pain, not when you run from it. And that takes courage. A courage far greater than pretending nothing ever happened. It takes courage to sit with your hurt, to look your brokenness in the eye and say, yes, this happened. Yes, it cut me deeply, but it will not define me. Courage is admitting the truth, even when it hurts to speak it. It's easier to hide behind distractions, easier to pretend you're fine, but that doesn't free you. That only keeps you chained. Healing requires that you confront the very thing you wish you could forget, and in that confrontation, you begin to take back your power. A woman who chooses healing is not weak. She is one of the strongest people alive, because healing demands patience. Healing demands honesty. Healing demands vulnerability. And vulnerability is not weakness. It is strength under pressure. To say, I'm hurting, but I'm willing to work through this, is an act of bravery. To ask for help when you need it, to pray when you feel empty, to seek wisdom instead of running from the truth. That is real power. Denial keeps wounds open, but courage stitches them closed. Denial keeps you living in the past, but courage allows you to step into your future. When you refuse to deny your pain, you give yourself permission to grow from it. You stop being a prisoner of what happened to you and start becoming the author of what will happen next. Healing isn't fast. It isn't a straight line. Some days it feels like progress. Other days it feels like you've gone backwards. But every step, every tear, every prayer is part of the process. Healing requires persistence just as much as courage. It means staying the course even when the pain resurfaces, even when it feels easier to numb it than to deal with it. But every time you face it, you weaken its hold on you. And one day you realize the pain no longer controls you, you control it. The truth is, healing transforms you. The very process of working through your brokenness reshapes you into someone wiser, stronger, and more compassionate. You begin to see life differently. You begin to value things more deeply. And most importantly, you begin to carry a strength that cannot be shaken because it was born in honesty and courage. So remember this, healing doesn't come from hiding. It doesn't come from denying. Healing comes from facing the pain with courage, walking through it step by step, and allowing yourself to rise again. That's not weakness. That's victory. Purpose is born in struggle. Nobody discovers who they truly are when everything is easy. Purpose doesn't show up in comfort. It reveals itself in hardship. The most powerful callings, the deepest missions in life, are not born out of victories, but out of battles. Struggle has a way of shaking us, pressing us, and forcing us to ask the hard questions. Why am I here? What am I fighting for? What is the meaning behind this pain? And when a woman wrestles with those questions in the middle of her trials, she begins to uncover the purpose planted inside her. Think about it, diamonds are formed under pressure. Gold is refined in fire. Seeds only grow when they are buried in the dark. Struggle is the environment where greatness is cultivated. A woman who has been through storms, heartbreak, rejection, or loss often emerges with a mission. Not just to survive, but to help others survive too. Her struggle becomes the birthplace of her calling. Her pain becomes the foundation of her purpose. When you look at history, almost every great leader, every voice of influence, every change maker discovered their purpose in a season of struggle. It wasn't when life was easy. It was when life was breaking them, stretching them, and forcing them to endure. Their struggles taught them empathy, gave them vision, and fueled their determination to create change. Struggle has a way of stripping away the unnecessary and leaving only what matters most. That clarity is what shapes purpose. Now, struggle doesn't feel good. In fact, it often feels unbearable. But struggle asks you to dig deeper than you ever thought you could. It forces you to discover strength you didn't know you had, wisdom you didn't know you carried, and resilience you didn't know was inside you. And once you see what you're capable of in the struggle, you can never go back to living small. You begin to live with intention. You begin to live with purpose. Purpose born in struggle also carries a different kind of authority. A woman who has suffered and risen speaks with power. People listen to her because her words aren't theory. They are testimony. Her life itself becomes evidence that struggle does not destroy, it defines. It gives her the ability to inspire others, to guide others, to lift others, because she has walked the path herself. The truth is, purpose without struggle is shallow. It has no depth, no weight, no lasting power. But purpose born in struggle is unshakable because it has been tested. It has been proven in the fire. That's why many of the most impactful lives are those that endured the hardest struggles. So when you find yourself in the middle of hardship, don't just ask, why me? Ask, what is this teaching me? What purpose is being born in me right now? Because your struggle is not meaningless. It is molding you, shaping you, and preparing you for the very reason you were put on this earth. A broken woman is not weak. She is unstoppable. Too often people confuse pain with weakness. They see the cracks, the tears, the quiet moments, and they assume that brokenness means defeat. But the truth is, a woman who has been broken and chooses to rise again is one of the most powerful forces on this earth. She has walked through fire, she has faced storms, she has been knocked down, and yet she still stands. That kind of resilience doesn't make her fragile. It makes her unstoppable. When life breaks a woman, she learns lessons that cannot be unlearned. She learns that survival is possible, even when everything inside her screams otherwise. She learns that strength isn't about never falling. It's about getting back up every single time. She learns that her worth was never tied to who left her, what she lost, or how deep the wound cut. Once she has seen her own strength rise from the ashes, she no longer doubts her ability to overcome. That's why she becomes unstoppable, because she has already proven to herself that nothing can destroy her completely. Unstoppable doesn't mean she feels no pain. Unstoppable doesn't mean she never cries. Unstoppable means that even in the pain, even in the tears, she keeps moving forward. She doesn't allow the storm to dictate her future. She doesn't let heartbreak define her identity. She takes every wound, every scar, every setback, and she turns it into fuel for her comeback. That is the power of a woman who has been broken. She is not running from the pain, she is using it as her strength. The world is often surprised by her resilience. They expected her to quit, to crumble, to disappear. But instead, she rises higher than before. And when she rises, she carries with her the wisdom, the empathy, and the fire that only come from walking through darkness. That's why a broken woman's strength is different. It's not just physical strength. It's not just emotional strength. It's spiritual strength born from knowing she has already faced the worst and lived to tell the story. Every scar becomes a reminder of survival. Every setback becomes a setup for a greater comeback. Every tear becomes a seed for growth. And when she steps into the next season of her life, she doesn't step timidly. She steps boldly because she knows that nothing the world throws at her can match what she has already overcome. So when you see a woman who has been broken, don't mistake her scars for weakness. Those scars are her armor. That pain is her power. That journey is her crown. She is living proof that brokenness is not the end. It is the beginning of unstoppable strength. A broken woman is not weak. She is a warrior. And once she decides to rise, there is nothing in this world that can hold her down. So let me leave you with this. Life will break you, yes. It will test you. It will press you. It will shake you in ways you never saw coming. But brokenness is not the end. It is the beginning. Every scar you carry is not a sign of weakness. It's proof that you survived, proof that you endured, proof that you refused to quit. Resilience is not built in comfort. It's forged in the chaos of life. Every struggle, every disappointment, every loss is building something inside of you that success alone never could. Pain has been your teacher, faith has been your anchor, perseverance has been your weapon, and through it all you've discovered strength you never knew was there. The world may underestimate you. They may look at your scars and assume you're fragile. But you know better. You've walked through the fire, you've faced the storm, and now you rise not as a victim, but as a victor. You rise with wisdom, with purpose, with unstoppable power. Because healing is not weakness, healing is courage. Purpose is not born in comfort, it's born in struggle. And the woman who has been broken, the woman who has faced the hardest battles and still chooses to stand, is the woman who cannot be stopped. So if you're listening to this right now and you feel broken, lift your head, wipe your tears, stand tall. You are not finished. You are being rebuilt, refined, and prepared for something greater than you can see. Your story is not over. Your struggle is shaping your purpose. And when you rise from this, you will rise stronger, wiser, and more powerful than you have ever been. Remember this, when life breaks a woman, it is not her ending. It is the beginning of her becoming unstoppable.